I'm Lauren from Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D., a Marvel Universe fan show, part of the Gonna Geek Network, just like the show you're checking out now. Shows on the network are individually owned, and opinions expressed may not reflect others. Find other incredible geeky shows at GonnaGeekNetwork.com.
Posses, stampedes, watch parties, and a convention in Buffalo, Wyoming. The fan campaign to save neo-Western crime drama Longmire was one of the greatest campaigns of all time, and in case you haven't seen the show, it's a really, really great show. Incredibly underrated, I think, too, in a lot of circles outside of its core fan base. So today we're looking at some of the awesome things that fans did to try and save the show. Today's going to be a fast-moving episode. I'm not going to muck around. There's a construction site right outside of my window for a new 57 apartment building. That's an awkward sentence. And there's probably 20 to 30 labourers drilling holes in the ground currently, so I apologise if you hear any of that. I'm trying to minimise the amount of sound. But as I said, let's try and get this done as quickly as possible while still giving you guys all the key information you need about the Long Live Longmire campaign. Righto, let's jump in. The Longmire Posse, led by superfan Pamela Bartley Nordic, was a key aggregator of Longmire news, cast and crew updates, and really just the passion of the fandom overall concentrated down into one community online. Just as importantly, though, the Posse coordinated massive watch parties. And it's surprising through all the episodes of On the Bubble podcast, we haven't talked more about watch parties specifically, when really they've been a feature of every single fan campaign and every cult show's continued engagement with their fans and new fans even after the show's been cancelled or finished. Watch parties are huge, but it's rare that a campaign got so much attention and so much focus and so much community alignment around watch parties like the Posse did for Longmire. It was really well done. It was organised. It was well promoted when they were happening, how they were happening, who could be involved, that it was a pleasant, open, welcoming community. It wasn't just a, hey, you haven't actually seen the show, you don't get to comment, why are you talking, you've only seen the episode once, I've seen it 50 times. None of that stuff. It was a very welcoming, open, and once again engaging community around the Posse and by extension the watch parties. So the hashtag Long Live Longmire was used to both promote the watch parties and also to bring conversations together around the episodes that were being consumed at the same time. So there's all these people around the world, they're watching contemporaneously. How do you bring all of the conversation and chatter together? Well, you use a really effective and memorable hashtag. Hashtag Long Live Longmire. And that's what helped the Posse to grow, kept the Posse growing. And I know I'm saying Posse a lot. P word's not the best thing to say on a podcast, which is strange since they called podcasting, but totally different issue. The Posse kept growing and continues to grow and still has a really large presence online, getting to the point where it's about 8 years, I think, since the show was in its final season. And I'm just going to put this out there. I'm not sure when it comes to Save Our Show fan campaigns that there's been a better hashtag than Long Live Longmire. And particularly with how long it's lasted. It continues to be used many, many years after the show was finished up. And I can see that happening into the future for many, many more years. They nailed it with the hashtag. So the watch parties that we spoke about actually fell in line with a concept known as a Longmire Stampede. So the Stampede was massive fan action that was concentrated into a short amount of time. Twitter tweeting sessions, Facebook activity, all those kinds of things all concentrated behind what was known as a Stampede. It was aimed at generating as much activity in a short amount of time as possible, hopefully getting some media attention, re-engaging cast and crew, getting their tweets, sharing their stuff around. It was a massive amount of effort squashed down into a stampede of energy and fandom. Absolutely awesome concept. And this happens with every Save Our Show fan campaign. It's not unique to Longmire that concentrated efforts in a shorter amount of time may lead to more media coverage, more cast and crew engagement, more general buzz in the zeitgeist. But calling it the Longmire Stampede branded those efforts in a way that I haven't seen from other shows that we've covered on the Bubble podcast. It was clear what was happening. Push hard right now, and we can get some attention. So guys, now I wanted to talk about what I feel is the most unique part of the Longmire fan campaign, but also the Longmire fandom just in general. And that's the non-antagonistic relationship between fans of the original book series by Craig Johnson and fans of the television series. As you guys are well aware, a respectful relationship between a literary fan and then a TV fan that is based on that same source material doesn't always happen. All right, let's be honest, it never happens. And for some reason, in the Longmire fandom, it happened. And the distillation of this was the creation and ongoing experience that is the annual Longmire Days convention in Buffalo, Wyoming. It's a perfect encapsulation, actually, of the connection between Longmire book fans and television fans that travel to share the same space with each other, engage with each other, and, for the most part, engage with the cast and crew of the television show, most every year in Buffalo, Wyoming. It's an incredible concept. There's incredible dedication for the day. We'll talk about, to finish up today in a few minutes from now, some of the other things that they've managed to achieve through holding the event, which are amazing. But the main thing is there's book fans there. Craig Johnson, the author of the Longmire series, is heavily involved in the convention year to year. And Robert Taylor, who is the star of the show, is also massively involved year to year. So Longmire Days describes itself in the following way on their own website. Quote, a celebration of the beloved mystery novels and TV series, end quote. So we spoke about series lead Robert Taylor attending the event annually. Legendary Australian, very proud. He's one of my favourite actors from our country. So the fact he's in this amazing show that just continues to have such a great connection with fans makes me even prouder as an Australian TV fan. But that's a bit of a tangent. Back on topic. Robert Taylor, who attends the event annually, and this part just amazes me and I think is so awesome. He has more than once turned down prominent and paid work to be able to attend Longmire Days. He clears his calendar. In Australia, we would call that being an awesome bloke. He is. He's an awesome bloke. And he makes room in his calendar for that special few days where he goes to Buffalo, Wyoming, and engages with the fans of the TV show and the books and the author of the original series, and has woven himself not only into the story of Longmire, but into that community in Wyoming. Every year, he's a local. And once again, absolute awesome bloke. And I think the following quote from Taylor really captures his feelings about the event. Quote, the people in that part of the world are so, so special, unquote. Quote, I just feel honoured and happy that I've got a little piece of it, a little part of it. I was able to play the role of Walt Longmire and bring to life something that everybody seems to respect and like. That's important. It's fun. And it's great. End quote. So yeah, top bloke. Love it. I'm sure, though, that Taylor is also very keen every year he goes back to see all of the Longmire tattoos that seem to be one of the common things that you see floating around in relation to Longmire Days. And I've posted a really great one in the show notes for this episode, a link to that photo, and I'll have the photo on the website, of an incredible Walt tattoo on a person's chest. It's completely clean, though, guys. I probably didn't phrase that quite right. But there's all these great tattoos. People are putting Longmire on their body. This is Harley Davidson level stuff, Guns N' Roses level stuff. It's absolutely incredible. And I'm sure that Robert Taylor loves to go back, get photos with these people and think, that's how much the show that I was the star of has touched these people's lives, that they're going to carry an image of it on their body forever. Unbelievable. So I did say I was going to cover off on something that I find even more amazing about Longmire Days that isn't so much about the TV fandom or the book fandom itself or the cast and crew. It's the fact that the day itself has this incredible philanthropic element that's raised money for so many important causes over the years that the convention has been running. These include the Johnson County Search and Rescue, Canines for Warriors, St. Francis Animal Shelter, Puppies Behind Bars, Friends Feeding Friends in Johnson County, and many, many more incredible philanthropic projects. So that's the spirit of this show, the story of Longmire writ large. It is helping people through the hardest moments of their life with joy and optimism. And if you were to look at certain scenes from Longmire, you would think that can't be a show about joy and optimism. But as someone who has watched the show, it is the joy and the optimism and the integrity of the characters that shine. And the fact that they've built this incredible philanthropic element into Longmire Days just really speaks to what Longmire is for the people that love it. And I think that's, once again, I'm using the word amazing and incredible a lot, but that's what it is. So just to finish up today, I wanted to share a Facebook post from Katie Sackhoff, who played Victoria Vic Moretti on the show. So she went from being amazing in Battlestar Galactica in space to being amazing in a neo-western in Wyoming. The girl has range. I think we could all agree on that. Sackhoff said during the craziness of August 2020, quote, "Have an amazing virtual Longmire Days, folks. See you in the flesh next year," unquote. Quote, "I'm not participating in any live events this year. However, I did give an item to be auctioned off. Me!" Unquote. Quote, "A 20-minute video call is item 37 on the list of really cool Longmire items to be auctioned for charity. Go check it out on longmiredays.com," end quote. So even the actors understand how important that charitable element was of the Longmire Days event, that we're going to come together, we're going to embrace the books and the television show and have an amazing time, but also we're going to impact real people's lives beyond just the bounds of the book or beyond the screen. Amazing. Katie Sackhoff actually liked a comment on that same Facebook post that I think encapsulates how Longmire fans felt and still feel about the show. And I wanted to finish up with this. This is from DB on Facebook. Quote, "Still surfing Netflix trying to find a new series to watch with no luck. You guys set the bar too high," end quote. Okay, guys, thank you so much for listening to part 2 of our Longmire coverage. In part 3, we're going to just cover off just a few of the voices from the community talking about why they love the show, why they continue to love the show, and why, in my opinion at least, Longmire will be a show people will watch well into the future, if not forever. Okay, guys, thank you. My name's Josh. Check out gunnergeek.com for other great shows. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.